Previously on John Writes a Sales Page. You know what, let's just crack on with it. So here's what we have. I was going to say here's what we had at the end of last time, but as you can see, this is, as sales pages go, this is fairly bog standard. Anybody could do this. It's basically a description, not even a description, just a bare bones description of what they're going to get as part of this offer. So this is the bit I'm going to focus on today, actually. I'm going to focus on the features side, which is the least sexy side, because I know copywriters will say that, you know, it's not about features. People don't buy your thing because they want a course. They don't buy your thing because they want a book. They buy it because they want the transformation. They want the promise. They want the result, the change, whatever you want to call it. And there's a certain amount of truth to that. But people also want to know exactly how this is going to work. So is it going to be a course? Is it going to be a subliminally programmed thing that I don't have to do anything with? Or is it going to be something that I have to strap to my back to make my golf swing better? They want to know exactly how this is going to work so they can figure out if it's for them or not. Because they might want your transformation, but they might not want to get it the way that you offer it. They might not want to do a week-long intensive boot camp in Nepal. They might want some kind of longer course over a year. You don't know. So it's important to flesh out the features. And to be honest, this is exactly where I start when I do a sales page for somebody. I get them to give me the product, I go through it, and I bleed it dry of every single feature. So if it's a course, I'll say how many modules is it, what are the titles of the modules, what does each module cover, the length of the modules, you know, if you've got PDF handouts, how many pages are there in them, and what do they cover, all that kind of stuff, templates, the same, bonuses. I bleed them dry. I get as many facts as I can out of each one, because those are going to be the seeds of where the benefits come from. So if you've got a 9-module course and it's only 5 minutes per module, I can talk about in the marketing or in the sales page that it's in bite-sized chunks. You can do this whole course during your lunch break. Or if the PDF handouts make learning my simple system even easier, because you can just print it out, carry it with you in your back pocket, and you can test yourself at any point. So features are not sexy, but they are necessary, and it's a good place to start to really flesh out your thing so you can figure out all the benefits. Now, the reason I'm going to focus on features as well is because I suspect this is going to be what we call like an offer lead of a sales page. Because if you remember from the first video, if you've watched that, I'm going to be selling this to people who are on my email list. This is the warmest of the warm traffic. These are the people who are most aware of me. So they've been in my world, they know what I do, they know how I do it, maybe they like my style, but they already kind of know if I'm the copywriter for them. So if I say to them, do you want me to be your copywriter on call? They kind of already know. They might want that, they might not. And it's kind of like, I'm not comparing myself to Apple, but it's a similar kind of thing. So you imagine the kind of typical Apple fanboy or girl, when they hear that the new iPhone is coming out, they might be curious about what features it's got, but it's not from I'm deciding whether to buy this or not. They're in. They don't care about the history of the company. They know the history of the company. They don't care about what's gone into it. They don't care necessarily about the new updates or anything like that. They just want to know, where is it available? How much will it be? When can I get my hands on it? They know it's for them. They just want to know what it is. And it's the same with this. So this is going out to my most aware audience. So I don't need to include a massive amount of... I will include testimonials and a bit about me, but I don't need to sell them on me because they're already in my world. The people who are going to be good for this program are people that go, you know what, I like John. He's a good copywriter. I think he could really help me with my business. I want in on this. Will this suit me? So really, the only question they have is, how is this going to work? Is this going to suit me? Am I going to be the kind of person that wants 10 weekly calls where I show up, hand in my copy, and he shows me how to make it better? That's what I'm doing. For some people who might be bought into me, that might not be what they want. They might want personal one-on-one help, or they might want to go through a course instead of going through this. So it's more about giving them exactly what this is so they can picture it in their own mind and figure out if that's something they want with me and if that's something that will work for them anyway. So it's going to be a kind of offer lead. And this is the easiest sales page you'll ever write, really, because unlike most sales pages where you read them and you think, you're halfway down the page and you have no idea what the damn thing is. You're like, what the hell is this thing? What what the hell is it? In fact, let's go here. There we go. Yeah, so for most sales pages, you read, you get halfway down it, and you've no idea whether this is going to be a course, a perfume, or some kind of weird attachment that goes on your left buttock. You have no idea. And then at the end, they reveal it. And it's like, by the time you bought into this, by the time you've bought into the story, the emotions hooked you, and you're all in on getting this transformation. You don't care what the damn thing is at the end. But an offer lead kind of turns that on its head, because you've already done most of the selling with your emails and how you show up in people's inboxes. So the offer lead turns that on its head and just brings the end right up to the front. Here's what I've got. How would you like me in your world for 10 weeks? What would it be like if I was your copywriter on call for 10 weeks? Here's what it is. Get access to me in the Facebook group. It's 150 quid. It's straight up there, straight at the front. So people, the most aware people, can look at it and go, yep, I want that. Or no, God no, can't imagine anything worse than that. So the thing to bear in mind with the offer lead is like, what's going through my head is like, what is the most compelling benefit that I could lead with? So I'm kind of getting ahead of myself when it comes to things like the headline. So let's go back to the headline. So copywriter on call, it's not too bad. Not too bad. I said last time that you would never choose the name of your program to be the headline of your copy unless it's got the benefit inside it. This doesn't really have a benefit inside of it, but you can see how, if I tweak this a little bit. So for example, I could say, what could I say? I could say, I've written copy for so how would you like Mr. X's copywriter on call in your business for 10 weeks? Who else wants, it's that kind of thing. I could play on the fact that I've written for some big names in marketing and maybe use those in the headline and say, these guys have paid me to be their copywriter. How would you like me in your business for 10 weeks? That would be a good offer lead headline because it kind of, a little bit of a benefit, but it gets very clear to the offer. Like copywriter on call is a really good idea of this. It's emotionally, for 10 weeks, I'll be your copywriter on call. It just feels, you get a good feel for what it is. You understand it in just those 3 words. So that could be fleshed out a bit. So I'm kind of thinking out loud and getting ahead of myself. But really what I'm thinking of when it comes to the headline is, what is the most compelling benefit? And the other thing to think about when I'm thinking about copywriter on call is, whenever you're offering something like this, you've got to answer the question, and I forget this most of the time, why am I selling this? So why am I selling this? If I'm paid as a full-time copywriter for somebody and I'm happy, why am I offering this? So I've got to kind of answer that question. The real reason, of course, is that I kind of want to expand my profile. I want to help business owners use their marketing, and I want to kind of demystify a lot of the pain and struggle that people have with marketing. They think you have to be cookie cutter and use all these templates and sound the same as everybody else. And it's really not that complicated. I want to help business owners sound like them. I realize that the only way to succeed in this is to be distinctive enough so that people have a reason to choose you. So it's this, how would I say this? I want to help business owners tap into that, how would I say this? And that's a skill for me. It helps me get better as a copywriter, helps me get better for my clients, but it also allows me to tap into and help other business owners as well. So that's why I'm doing it, just to kind of boost my own skills, really. So this is what I'm thinking. So when it comes to features, the features are just the bog standard 10 weekly group calls, full access to all the replays, exclusive Facebook group. Bare bones. Most people will have a good idea of what those involve, but let's flesh them out a little bit more, and we can even put a few benefits in there, maybe. So this is the bit I'm going to be working on today. You will not see me do this live. I'm just going to pause it in a few seconds, and I will see what I can create, and then we'll come back and I'll have a quick chat through it. This might not be the final version. There will be tweaking as we go. There'll be a lot of tweakage, I imagine, but at least this will give you a good idea of exactly what's going through my tiny mind. So I'll see you in a second. Okay, so we're back. It's been 38 days. People have died. I've not eaten. Actually, it's been about 6 minutes, but I've given a tippy tap on the old computer. I've bunged in some words to flesh these out a little bit more. Let's go see what the... Just so you know, just a quick reminder, there will be tweakage towards this. So let's see what we've done over here. So I've changed font. I've put a subhead in of here's what you get when you join today. Really bog standard. And I really recommend this. When you're doing a sales page, if you reach the point when you're sweating about what words to use in subheadlines, there's so many things you could be tweaking left, right, and center. Just throw up a bare bones version. This is exactly what I would do. I'd go, right, I know what's in it, bung it up there, see where it takes me. I can change stuff later. There'll be a lot of edits to this. So this isn't going to be the final sales page, but it would be what I would create if I was doing this for a client, not a child, a client. So here's what you get when you join today. That's what this section is. So I might as well call it that, even if it's just for now. I might come up with something clever later. Odds are that I won't, but here's what we've got. So we've got 10 weekly group calls. This is where the magic happens. Come with a jumbled collection of words, leave knowing how to make them better. Every Thursday we'll hop on a call and critique your copy live. Worried you might miss a call? So here I'm tapping into what if I can't make the call. Now, I'll deal with that in the FAQ section later, but for now this is okay. I might just pop it in here because I like the way it kind of flows between each feature, but we'll see that in a second. So, worried you might miss a call? Don't, because you'll also get full access to all the replays. This means you can get all your questions answered and copy critiqued, even if you can't make it. Plus, you'll pick up nuggets of wisdom from critiques from other members too. But how will I know how you know my question if I'm not there? I hear you scream. Simple, because you'll also get access to I might put super, top secret, exclusive Facebook group. No need to experience the pain of having to remember something for our Thursday call. With full access to an exclusive Facebook group, you'll be able to post your questions any 24/7. So, it's very rough. It's very rough at the moment, but you get the idea. I'm not massively overselling the benefits of this. I'm just telling them why they should care about this. Why should they care about 10 weekly group coach calls? Why should they care about having full access to the replays? Why should they care about being a member of a Facebook group? What's in it for them? And I've just kind of picked out the best thing. They get their critiques done live. They enter with a collection of words that they're not happy with. They leave with better words. That's what's going to happen on the call. Full access to all the replays. So even if they're not there, they can ask the questions, get the copy critique. There's no, you must be here for this. You must free up every single Thursday to be on this call. Pressure. They don't need to. And the Facebook group. No need to think, oh God, I've got to wait till Thursday to get this sorted. Put it in the Facebook group. Maybe I'll solve your problems before the Thursday call so you can do something else on Thursday, making you even more productive and getting even more mileage out of the 150 quid. Who knows? So I've just thought the main compelling reason why for each of those things. I will flesh this out a little bit more, tighten it up a bit, and make it a bit more you-focused, because at the moment it's just kind of... Let's go back to this just for a second. Oh, there we are. So it's a little bit bland. I need to turn it round to them a little bit, so I'll do that. But you just get the idea. I'm just fleshing this out a little bit. You can begin to see the semblance of benefits coming out, the main compelling benefit for each one of these. So that's the features bit. It's the bit I always start with. If you're creating a sales page for your offer, start with the what you get section and flesh it out as much as you can, because you can begin to see here. Come with a jumbled collection of words, leave knowing how to make them better. We'll critique your copy live. Don't worry about missing a call. You begin to see the benefits that are going to appear in more detail in the sales page or the points. You begin to see exactly how I'm going to sell this to people, because I'm offering it. I'm going to be selling it as an offer rather than trying to involve some kind of complex story and narrative or anything like that. So that's how it looks at the moment. When you see it, and just go to insertgaghere.com/COC. Worst website in the world, but very easily remembered. It might look a little bit different than this, and I should have warned you, I'm very bad when it comes to design. Some things don't need to be said, but just in case you thought I was sat here going, God, I'm a genius, look at the way that red goes, God, who uses pop-ins, what a man. Yeah, I'm well aware that my design skills are shit, but hopefully this should give you an insight into what goes into the here's what you get section. It's the part I always start with, and if you're creating a sales page, it's the part I recommend you start with too. Just makes it so easy. But let's see what we're going to do next time. But for now, that's what we're going to do for today. Here's what you get. I'm going to tweak this up a little bit, but if you've got any questions, find them below or above, depending on where the hell you're seeing this. Have a good one.